Good morning, Team McAuliffe. Today is Wednesday, March 19th, 2025, and we will now begin our day together with morning announcements. Please stand quietly and respectfully for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now have a moment of silence to think about what we are going to do today to help make the McAuliffe School a peaceful and happy learning place for all students and staff. Okay, so we do have a birthday to celebrate today in room 205. It is Jacobo's birthday. Happy birthday, Jacobo. I hope that you have a great day today. Just another reminder that today is also Save at School with Jean d'Arc. We'll be calling students down as soon as they are set up in the lobby for that. Teachers, I sent out your report cards through a Google Drive this morning. Please make sure that you check them, add any comments or anything else that needs to be fixed, so that we can get those printed out and sent home on Friday. Students, a reminder that Friday is World Down Syndrome Day, and we're going to celebrate the uniqueness that is special about all of us by wearing mismatched socks. That's right, wear socks that don't match to school on Friday. Now, we need to get down to March Book Madness, and we actually are going to have our next two books featured today. These books are going head to head, and you're going to decide which one moves on to the next round of the March Book Madness competition. So the first one is going to be it's called Magic Ramen, and it is the story about how ramen was invented. I love me some ramen, and it's read by Miss Jurea at Lowell High School. Check it out.
Hi, it's Vanessa again, this time to introduce Miss Truella. Miss Truella is an English teacher within our multilingual learners program at Lowell High School. This time, she's going to read Magic Ramen, the story of Momofuku Ando by Andrea Wang. And remember, in Lowell, books always win.
Hi everyone, my name is Miss Truella, and I'm at Lowell High School with my ESL class. And today I'm going to read the story of ramen. It's called Magic Ramen, and it's the story of a person named Momofuku Ando. The story is written by Andrea Wang, and it was illustrated by Kana Ubrakovitz. Momofuku Ando picked his way through the rubble on his way from work. Even though World War II had ended over a year ago, much of Osaka, Japan still lay in ruins. That means it was destroyed and broken. Across the street, a long line of people wound down the sidewalk. It was winter, and they shivered in their ragged clothes. What are they waiting for? Ando wondered. At the head of the line, billows of steam rose from a shack. Inside, a man was selling ramen noodle soup. Bad harvests, rationing, and war had made food scarce. The poor ate grass and bark to survive. Orphans scrounged through garbage for something to eat. Those lucky enough to have some money waited for hours and paid outrageous prices for a meager bowl of ramen. Ando went home, but he couldn't forget the hungry people. The world is peaceful only when everyone has enough to eat, he realized. Ando decided that food would be his life's work. He started a business making salt. He caught dried fish. He created nutritious food for people who were sick. With every new product, every new job, and new business, Ando thought about the line of starving people. He thought about them for over 10 years. Then, one of Ando's business deals ended badly. He was penniless. Once again, Ando remembered the thin and hungry people. Wouldn't it be wonderful, he thought, if whole families could have noodles whenever they wanted? No more waiting in line in the cold, no more high prices, no more empty stomachs. He dreamed about a new kind of ramen. His ramen wouldn't be like other noodles. It would be more nutritious. In a shed in his backyard, Ando mixed flour, salt, and water together. He added eggs. He added powdered milk. He added spinach. Nothing worked. The noodles were too crumbly, or too sticky, or too lumpy. Ando kept experimenting with different ingredients. One day, he cranked the handle of his noodle-making machine and tested the noodles that came out. They didn't crumble, stick, or lump. It was just the right mix of ingredients. Ando realized the key to preparation for food is balance. But what was ramen without soup? Ando remembered the cold and hungry people. Chicken soup warmed up cold bodies, but took hours to make. His ramen would be tasty and easy to cook. The simple addition of hot water would release flavor from the noodles and turn it into a hot chicken soup. Ando kept experimenting. He used chicken soup to make the dough. He brushed seasonings onto the noodles. He dipped the noodles into soup. Once again, nothing worked. The noodles were too brittle, or too soft, or too soggy. Ando kept experimenting with different methods. One day, he sprinkled noodles with soup from a watering can, then tossed them and separated them. The noodles soaked up the soup and dried. It was just the right procedure. He added hot water to the dried noodles and stirred. The water now tasted like soup, but the noodles were too tough. They still had to be cooked on a stove. Ando remembered the tired and hungry people. He wanted his ramen to be fast and convenient. It could be made with hot water and in a few minutes. People should be able to make it anywhere, anytime. Day after day, Ando experimented. Night after night, he failed. Month after month, he kept trying. Nothing worked. One night, Ando watched his wife, Masako, fry tempura. She coated vegetables and seafood in batter and dropped them into hot oil. The water in the batter evaporated and left tiny holes in the now crunchy coating. He stared at the tempura. The batter was made from flour and water, just like his noodles. Yatta! He cried. That's it! He raced to his shed and threw some noodles into a pot of hot oil. They sizzled, they popped, and crisped. Ando scooped the fried noodles out of the oil and into a bowl. He added hot water and waited. The water seeped into the tiny holes and softened the noodles. 2 minutes later, he plunged a pair of chopsticks into the bowl. He stirred and slurped. The noodles were tender and chewy. They floated in a bowl of hot and tasty soup. After a year of trying, Ando had finally done it. He had invented instant ramen. Ando worked hard to make enough instant ramen to sell. The whole family pitched in. Masako, Suma, Koki, and even little Akemi. Ando gave demonstrations. He poured hot water. He waited 2 minutes. Macho no ramen, the astonished customers exclaimed. Magic ramen. Soon everyone was eating Ando's ramen. Poor people, children, busy workers, even royalty. Ando's ramen was nutritious, tasty, and convenient. Thin, cold, tired, and hungry people ate it and felt better. Ando smiled. Peace follows from a full stomach, he said. Ever since Momofuku Ando and his backyard invention have fostered peace, one bowl of noodles at a time. That's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed Magic Ramen. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so that's Magic Ramen, and it is going up against a book called The Boy Who Said Wow. It's read by one of the music teachers at Lowell High School, Mrs. Johnston. A fun fact about The Boy Who Said Wow. Maddie in first grade is the cousin of the person that the book is written about. How cool is that connection? You guys are going to vote between this one and Magic Ramen next week, Friday. Let's check out The Boy Who Said Wow.
Hi readers, it's Emma back to introduce Mrs. Johnston. Mrs. Johnston is a teacher in the Lowell High School Fine Arts Department, teaching piano, guitar, and music theory. Before coming to Lowell High, she previously taught music at Stocklosa Middle School. Today, she is reading The Boy Who Said Wow by Todd Boss. Enjoy this great story, and remember, in Lowell, books always win.
Hello everyone, my name is Mrs. Johnston and I'm a music teacher at Lowell High School. Thank you for joining me as we read The Boy Who Said Wow by Todd Boss. Come along with Ronan and his grandfather to Symphony Hall for an experience of a lifetime. Ah, what a beautiful morning, says Father. Shall we go to the beach? What a lovely afternoon, says Mother. Shall we go to the park? Ronan is quiet. Suddenly, Grandfather bursts through the door. Let's go to a concert. A risk, says Mother. A challenge, says Father. An adventure, cries Grandmother. Ronan is quiet as he gets into the car. He is quiet as they leave the sleepy countryside. The city is noisy. Grandfather is noisy too. He talks and talks and talks. But Ronan is quiet all the way to Symphony Hall. Some children are born noisy, but Ronan was born quiet. Some days he hardly says a word. What goes on in his head, do you suppose? Only Ronan knows. What a fantastic concert hall, says Ronan's grandfather as they take their seats. Ronan is quiet and the musicians come on stage. Ronan is quiet as the lights go down. Everyone is quiet now. The music is about to begin. And then it does. The darker instruments sound cool and frightening. Zimmity, zimmity! The lighter instruments sound warm and friendly. Together, they sound like a sky full of stars. Now the music is done. Everything is silent. The stars fade away. Then Ronan's mouth opens up, and out comes a great, big wow! This wow isn't just any old wow. It's Ronan's first wow. It fills up Ronan's whole face. It fills up the hearts of all the people in the audience. It fills up the whole concert hall. Everybody laughs. Then everybody claps. They are clapping for the orchestra. And they are clapping for Ronan too. Ronan is quiet all the way home. Ronan is quiet as he's tucked into bed. Wow, whispers Mother. Wow, whispers Father. Shh. Quiet now. Ronan may still be listening. The end. Did you know that this story really happened? On May 5th in 2019 at Boston Symphony Hall, a 9-year-old boy named Ronan Matten broke the silence after a performance of Mozart's Masonic Funeral music by the Handel and Haydn Society with a wow that echoed throughout the hall and inspired laughter, cheers, and applause. Ronan is nonverbal, which means he usually doesn't speak much. But that night, he seemed to speak for everyone in the audience, and his wow was caught on a radio recording that was heard around the world.
Okay, so now you have both of our books in this next matchup for March Book Madness. Magic Ramen versus The Boy Who Said Wow. Which one did you like better? You'll get to decide and you'll get to vote next week, Friday. Can't wait to see which one moves on into the next round of March Book Madness. I think that's all of our announcements for today. Remember, McAuliffe students are stars. That means we strive to do our best. We take responsibility. We're always positive and kind, and we respect ourselves and others. If everybody remembers to be a star today, then we'll have a wonderful Wednesday. Have a great day, McAuliffe School.